Welcome to Fluent Path English. Today I will tell you a beautiful Ramadan story called A Lantern in the Window. It is a gentle story about kindness, patience, and the warm spirit of Ramadan. I hope you enjoy listening and that it brings a little light to your day. On a quiet street in Birmingham, where the houses stood in neat rows and the evening smelled faintly of rain and takeaway chips, lived a young boy named Yusuf. Ramadan had just begun. For Yusuf, Ramadan always felt different from the rest of the year. The mornings were sleepier, the afternoons slower, and the evenings were full of warmth, light, and the sound of plates being set on the table. This year, however, something felt new. Yusuf's mum had bought a small silver lantern and placed it in the front window. When it was switched on, it glowed softly, casting tiny star shapes onto the glass. "It's our Ramadan lantern," she told him with a smile, "so everyone passing knows this house is celebrating." Yusuf liked that idea. It made him feel part of something bigger. The first fast. Although Yusuf was only 9, he wanted to try fasting for the first time. "I think I can do it," he said bravely at Sahur, rubbing his eyes while eating toast. His dad chuckled gently. "You can try a half-day fast first. Ramadan isn't about being the strongest, it's about learning patience and kindness." Yusuf nodded, though he wasn't entirely sure what that meant yet. By 11 o'clock at school, his stomach was already rumbling. At lunchtime, the smell of chips in the hall felt almost unbearable. His friend Oliver noticed. "You're not eating today?" he asked. "It's Ramadan," Yusuf explained. "We fast to remember people who don't always have food, and to be better." Oliver thought about this for a moment, then quietly slid his packet of biscuits back into his bag. "I'll eat later," he said, "so you're not the only one waiting." Yusuf didn't expect that, and somehow the afternoon felt much easier. The long afternoon. When Yusuf got home, he lay on the sofa, trying not to think about food. His mum was in the kitchen, and the familiar Ramadan sounds filled the house, the chopping of vegetables, the bubbling of soup, the soft recitation of Quran playing in the background. Outside, the sky slowly changed from pale grey to soft gold. Yusuf wandered to the window and looked at the lantern. It glowed warmly, even in the daylight. "Why do people love Ramadan so much?" he asked when his dad came in. His dad sat beside him. "Because it reminds us who we are," he said. "We slow down, we pray more, we help others. We remember that everything we have is a gift." Yusuf thought about Oliver sharing the fast with him. Maybe that was part of it too. Iftar time. As the evening call to prayer approached, the house felt alive. The table was laid with dates, water, soup, and warm samosas. The clock ticked loudly. Yusuf watched it like a hawk. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Then finally, his dad smiled. "Bismillah." Yusuf took his first sip of water. It felt like the best drink he had ever tasted. The date was sweet, the soup comforting, and suddenly all the waiting made sense. He felt proud. Not just because he'd fasted, but because he'd learned something. A small surprise. Later that evening, there was a knock at the door. It was their elderly neighbour, Mrs. Thompson, holding a small tin. "I saw your lovely lantern," she said warmly. "I thought I'd bring you some homemade shortbread for your special month." Yusuf's mum thanked her and offered her some samosas in return. As she left, Yusuf looked at the glowing lantern again. People walking past could see it. Friends at school could feel it. Even neighbours noticed it. Ramadan wasn't just happening inside their house, it was spreading kindness outside too. The meaning of the lantern. That night before bed, Yusuf stood by the window. The lantern shone brightly in the darkness, steady and calm. "I think I understand now," he told his mum. "Understand what?" she asked. "Ramadan is like the lantern," he said. "It lights things up. Not just the house, but people too." His mum smiled and kissed his forehead. "Yes," she said softly. "That's exactly what Ramadan is meant to do." Yusuf went to bed feeling full, not just from food, but from something warmer. And outside, the little silver lantern continued to glow, quietly lighting the street.